Iowa, 40 delegates.
Dude, you gotta do it.
Votes, President Donald J. Trump.
Party people, come on. DNC, party people, come on. Roll call, party people, come on. DNC, party people, come on.
It's time for us to do the right thing, and that is to elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States of America.
A tale of two roll calls. The Democratic National Convention turned into what is usually a lifeless event into a party as delegates pledged support for Vice President Harris. A DJ played chart-topping tracks to represent each state and territory. When Georgia was called, Atlanta's own award-winning rapper Lil Jon performed his hit songs. And when Harris's home state of California cast the final votes for her, it was timed perfectly, with Harris walking on stage in Milwaukee at a rally with about 15,000 people there. And the vice president then addressed the two packed arenas at the same time.
Good evening, Milwaukee. And hello to everyone joining us from exciting Chicago. The delegates at the Democratic National Convention, well, they just completed their roll call.
Or as the Lincoln Project referred to it, the DNC roll call makes the RNC roll call look like a funeral dirge, is what I would add there. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. I have never wanted to be a part of a delegate roll call so badly in my life. In fact, I never actually wanted to be a part of a delegate roll call. Until this week's convention for the DNC in Chicago. Dang, the FOMO is still so strong. As I'm recording this, it's the final night, and it's going to be an epic party by the time this video airs. You will have heard all about the massive surprises as Kamala Harris does her acceptance speech for the nomination of the Democratic Party. But even Republican and perennial curmudgeon Meghan McCain wanted in on the fun. She posted this earlier in the week. I'm sorry, but this DNC 2024 roll call with DJ Cassidy themed state music and party club atmosphere is blowing the RNC's roll call out of the water. It looks like a giant party and celebration, and everyone in that room looks like they are having a blast.
Gentlemen, my name is DJ Cassidy, and I'd like to welcome you all to the Democratic National Convention roll call.
Well, Megan, that's because it is a giant party and everyone was having a blast. And too bad you weren't there, and I wish I was too. The Democratic Convention was definitely the cool kids party. You know, the one that you wish that you were invited to, the place everybody wanted to be, even lifelong conservative, staunch Republican judge Michael Luttig, who is casting his first Democratic vote ever to Adam Kinzinger, who is also endorsing Kamala Harris, saying true conservatism has been replaced with a cult. I'll be making that clear as he took the stage on Thursday night. While the pro-democracy party was going down in Chicago, Trump and his grievance platform droned on and on with yet more negativity from spreading hatred,
abused for radical social experiments. On day one, I will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our U.S. armed forces. We're taking it out. Our warriors should be focused on defeating America's enemies, not figuring out their genders. By that time, hopefully they know their genders. Marxist ideologies have no place in combat.
to lies about the crime rate in Michigan.
Insane. But you can't walk across the street to get a loaf of bread. You get shot, you get mugged, you get raped, you get whatever it may be. And you've seen it, and I've seen it. And it's time for a change. We have to bring back our cities. We have these cities that are great cities. where people are afraid to live in them now.
Of course, Trump is lying again. Not only is there not a crime wave going on in Michigan, according to the FBI statistics, during the first 2 years of President Biden's administration, the nation's violent crime rate dropped significantly from when Trump was in office. It's just so stale. And as MeidasTouch digital editor Asen put it, so fucking boring. And more conservatives have had it with the MAGA lies and constant complaining, constant grievance. Here's lifelong Republican and Mormon mayor of Mesa, Arizona, my home state, John Giles, speaking at the DNC.
John McCain taught us to put country over party. And that's how Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will lead too. I have an urgent message for the majority of Americans who, like me, are in the political middle. John McCain's Republican Party is gone, and we don't owe a damn thing to what's been left behind. So let's turn the page. Let's put country first. Let's put adults in the room where our country deserves. Thank you.
Republican and former Mike Pence aide Olivia Troy also spoke at the DNC, sounding the alarm bell that Donald Trump is as dangerous now as he ever was.
4 years ago, I resigned from the Trump administration. As a Republican who dreamed of working in the White House, it was a hard decision. But as an American, it was the right one. I saw how Donald Trump undermined our intelligence community, our military leaders, and ultimately our democratic process. Now, he's doing it again, lying and laying the groundwork to undermine this election. It's his MO to sow doubt and division. That's what Trump wants, because it's the only way he wins. And that's what our foreign adversaries want, because it's the only way they win. Being inside Trump's White House was terrifying. But what keeps me up at night is what'll happen if he gets back there. The guardrails are gone. The few adults in the room the first time resigned or were fired. I grew up in the kind of working family that Trump pretends to care about. Conservative, Catholic, Texan. July 4th was our most sacred holiday. Those values made me a Republican. And they're the same values that make me proud to support Kamala Harris. So to my fellow Republicans, you aren't voting for a Democrat. You're voting for democracy. You aren't betraying our party. You're standing up for our country.
This DNC showed that the pro-democracy tent is big and open to everyone who wants to join. Obviously, we won't always agree on everything, but we agree on freedoms and equality and respect for other people. Whereas the Trump MAGA party is about exclusion and building walls and othering people. Here's Tennessee rising Democratic star Justin Jones talking about just that.
The convention has made such an effort to show the broad base of support for what you just articulated. Conservative Judge Michael Luttig is there. Conservative, lifelong Republican Lieutenant Governor of Georgia Jeff Duncan is speaking. Conservative Mayor of Mesa, Arizona spoke. This is something that everyone wants to be a part of, including all these conservative ex-Republicans. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it is beautiful. And I think that's the difference between, Kendrick Lamar has a lyric that they're not like us. And this is the difference between our party and their party. They want to beat people down and tell them that they have no place here. Our party is saying to even those who had kicked us out the legislature, even to my Republican colleagues who passed these asinine bills and those who are afraid of diversity, we want to let them know that we're fighting for them and their children too. When we fight for common sense gun laws, we're fighting for them and their children too. When we fight to protect our clean water and clean air, when we fight for healthcare as a human right, when we fight, to make a livable planet, when we fight to, cancel and to, make college more, to cancel student loan debt and make it more affordable, we're fighting for them and their children too. And so that's the message we send to Republicans and those who might be uncertain right now, is that we are a party that is about building a bigger circle to draw them in and let them know that we are fighting for them too, that this is not about defeating anyone, but it's about building the beloved community of what America can be and what we've envisioned this nation to be. I'm Black and I'm also Asian, and so I come from a fusion family that is multiracial, and to me that is the beauty of this nation. I'm the youngest Black lawmaker in my state, the first Black lawmaker to represent my district. That is the beauty of this nation, and so that's what we're seeing, and I hope that people embrace that vision and do not fall into Donald Trump's tricks of trying to make us afraid of diversifying America, because it's a beautiful thing that we should celebrate and be proud of, because we can be the greatest of democracy in the history of this world.
Meanwhile, Fox News continues to melt down over the fun atmosphere and packed arenas that Democrats are filling. But even big mad hater Jesse Waters admitted this coming from his own mama.
My mother texted me after the speeches last night and she said, "Are you a Democrat yet?" This is what I'm dealing with.
Oh yeah, Jesse Waters, the invitation is there. It has to be just exhausting, though, to be this cruel and heartless all of the time. No wonder the spell is finally wearing off so many of the former cult members. If you didn't watch this touching moment when Tim Walz's special needs son, Gus, was celebrating his dad's speech, here it is.
It took Gwen and I years, but we had access to fertility treatments. And when our daughter was born, we named her Hope. Hope, Gus, and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you. I'm letting you in on how we started a family, because this is a big part about what this election is about. Freedom.
It's just such a beautiful, relatable moment. I'm a former special needs teacher, and it melted my heart, as it did for millions of people across America who have children who are special needs with disabilities, or people who know children like that. But here was the typical MAGA response from conservative and heartless sociopath Ann Coulter. She put out this on social media, a photo of Gus Walz getting emotional about his dad, which is so sweet. And then she wrote, "Talk about weird." Well, Rachel Vindman took her to task. She wrote, "This woman is broken in the same way that Trump and so many of his followers are. They have never felt or given unconditional love." Well, that's right. They know nothing about sacrifice for others. We cannot allow these monsters to win. Amen to that, sister. It's just cruel. And the post went on social media. I'm not even going to put any more up because they were so cruel, taking aim at this 17-year-old child. Just absolutely disgusting. And then Alex Cole put this up. "Have you noticed the people who are attacking Tim Walz's son have Christian and conservative in their bio?" Yeah, once again, these fake Christians. And I'll call this out. That is not Christ-like behavior at all. In fact, if you read the Bible and see where Jesus went and what he preached and spoke of, wherever he went, there was wine and laughter and joy and inclusion and love. That is what Jesus Christ represented and what he preached. And that is exactly what the MAGA Republican Party cannot stand about the democracy movement. They cannot stand our joy and our celebration of freedom and inclusion. As I see that people all around the world are watching to see what happens over here in America. And as America goes, so goes the rest of the world. That's why it is such a a beautiful thing to see the way that President Biden has restored our integrity and respect on the world stage. So this is just one of many, many comments. This person wrote, Canada here. I'm so happy for the American people. The shroud of darkness and doom Trump placed upon your land is finally lifting. So wonderful to see new hope and normalcy returning, with a bunch of clapping hand emojis. And amen to that. And people are watching from around the world to see if we can pull this off. Barack Obama mentioned that in his epic speech the other night. People are watching to see if we can keep this momentum that Biden's administration restored to us. And it's I think of it as, since we just got through the Olympics, as this incredible relay race. President Biden ran that leg so hard and restored us to the world stage and gave hope back to the United States of America and to the rest of the world who's watching. And now the handoff is going to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And will we make it? It's going to take all of us collectively to get them to the next handoff, to keep on running. And, one other thing that President Barack Obama said, or former president, in his speech the other night, when you hear someone around you, maybe in your circle, say something super cringeworthy, he said, before you say something, listen first. And that can be really hard sometimes because they just gin up so much fear. But let's find out what's below the surface there so that we can invite more people over. Because in the end, you guys, this may sound super corny, but love really does conquer hate. So let's not let the cruelty of Donald Trump and his MAGA party win. Let's not let the bullies win. So let's take the momentum and the joy and the celebration of this incredible week that just happened in Chicago, and let's run this race out into our communities. Let's spread the love and the kindness, and let's mobilize people to get out there and vote, because we're going to need to do it in numbers so massive that when Donald Trump tries to steal this election, and he will, that there will be no denying that love wins. All right? So for the pro-democracy movement here on the MeidasTouch Network, my name is Suri Crowe. Peace.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.